Okay, welcome back. This is the second video for Word Module 2, and in this video we are going to format a research paper. This is probably my favorite part of the entire course, is showing you guys how to format a research paper using Microsoft Word. Basically, I wish this was around when I was in high school because it essentially does it for you. So the first thing we're going to do before we get started is make sure if you are following along with me that you have the correct file open. So you need to open file 2-4 from our Canvas course under Word Module 2 section. And then if you want to follow along with the step-by-steps as I do them, make sure you check back on my first video that I created, the Getting Started video that kind of walks you through the process of how to get to the part in the book, the step-by-steps in the book that I use for these training videos. First thing we're going to do is a file save as, and select the location in which you want to save. I'm going to save to the desktop, but again, you can select your flash drive or OneDrive. And we are going to name this Comedy. And then the first direction asks us to change Sabrina's name to your own name. And the second part asks us to format this paper as you would an MLA style paper. So if you're not for sure on what exactly MLA style is, a simple Google search will give you a ton of results so you know exactly how to space your paragraphs, how to indent your paragraphs, the font size and style of font that you should use for MLA style. So a simple Google search does that for you. But since I'm here, I'm going to help you and I'm going to tell you how to do it. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you want to center align your title and then any subtitle. So Mocking Our Manners, I'm going to center align that. Physical Comedy, Comedy and Love, I'm just center aligning all of these subtitles. And then another part of formatting is to indent the first word of every paragraph. So I'm just going to put my cursor next to the first word in the first paragraph, and I'm going to hit Tab on my keyboard. And I'm going to do this for all of the paragraphs in the paper. So we're just indenting the first word in every paragraph. And then the last thing that we have to do is double space the paper. So I am just going to highlight my entire paper, or you can do Control A. That also highlights it. And I'm going to go to my line and paragraph spacing button, and I'm going to select 2.0. And that will double space your paper for you. And you can kind of see what that does. It really adds some length to your paper. And that's a typical formatting move for MLA style papers. And really many styles of paper ask you to double space. The next thing it asks us to do is add our page number and our name in a heading, but it does not want the heading to appear on the first page. So I'm going to do this by inserting a header. So I'm going to go to the Insert tab. I'm going to go to Header, and I'm just going to insert a blank header. I just picked the top one. I'm going to delete the text that's there, and I'm going to hit Tab twice. So it takes me over to the right-hand side of my paper, because a simple Google search will tell you that when you're editing your paper with MLA style, your page number and your name go in the top right corner. So I'm going to go ahead and insert my page number first. Notice when I inserted my header, a special tab popped up called the Header Footer tab. And this is a contextual tab. It's only there when the header is selected, and it allows you some commands to edit your header. So this is where you would go to insert a page number. So you can see over to the left, there's an option for page number, and you can select the location that you want it to appear. I want it to appear in the top right corner, so that's the option I'm going to select. And you'll see a number 1 pops up. I'm also going to add my last name. I'm just going to type it in, and it will automatically type into the left of the page number. And notice that it says Jarvis 1, and if you scroll down to the second page, you'll see it says Jarvis 2, and then if there were a third page, it would say Jarvis 3. Now, unfortunately for MLA style, we do not want this information popping up on the first page. You just want it to pop up on subsequent pages. So if you want your first page to be different than the rest of your document, you need to select the different first page checkmark in the Header Footer Contextual tab, and it will remove it from the first page, but it will keep it on your subsequent pages. Now, make sure that when you're inserting page numbers into a document that you use the page number command and don't just type the number 1 using your keyboard. Because if you just type the number 1, it's going to make every page number 1. It's not going to update it to page 2 and page 3. It will automatically just make it number 1 if you type it. It just copies whatever you've typed. So if you want it to update, you need to make sure you use the page number command on your header footer group. All right, once that's set, you could go ahead and close out of your header and footer button. And now what we're going to do is we are going to insert a footnote. So I want you to scroll down to page 2 and locate the third sentence after physical comedy. So I'm going to scroll down to page 2. Here's the physical comedy section, and I want to locate the third sentence. So there's the first sentence, the second sentence, and the third sentence. So I'm going to put my cursor at the end of the word loudly, and I'm going to insert a footnote. So footnotes can be found on the References tab. And there's a command that says AB1, it's insert footnote. So I'm going to click that, and it's going to put a number 1 next to where I had my cursor under the physical comedy section, and then it's going to shoot your cursor down to the bottom of the page with a number 1 where you can type some additional information about what's in the paper. So we are going to type many images of slapsticks are available on the web. Search for the term, oops, a little typo there, wooden slapstick noise maker. So that's the information we're going to put in our footnote. I want you to go ahead and stay on the References tab, and I want to draw your attention to the Citations and Bibliography group, because this is about the coolest thing that you're going to learn, unless you already know it. But what you're going to do is we are going to insert some sources into our paper. So you can just add, as you use a source, a book or a website or whatever it is, you can just add that source to your paper and it will be saved. And then you can insert citations at different locations in your paper. But first we need to make sure we're in the correct style. So we are going to change it to MLA style because that's the style that we're using. And now what we're going to do is we are going to find the navigation pane. We can either use our find command that we used in the first section, or we can scroll to find the first instance of the uppercase word citation, because that's where we're going to put our first citation. So you can just scroll through your paper here. I can see it. It's on the first page under Mocking Our Manners. I'm going to highlight the first word citation here. And we're actually going to insert a citation at this location. So these word citations are just serving as placeholders for now. So on the References tab, go ahead and select the drop-down next to Insert Citation. Oh, I'm sorry, it asks us to go ahead and delete the word citation, but leave your cursor in that location. Don't move it. Then go to Insert Citation, add new source, and make sure it's a book. So now we're going to add our source. We're going to add the author's name. And we are going to add the title of the book, Modern Comedy. It's called A History in Words and Photos. We're going to get the year, and all this information is given to us. But again, if this was your source, you would just get the information from the source.